What's up, everybody? Yeah, it's your boy, Mr. Marion Man, back here on this lovely Saturday, this kind of muggy Saturday, July 17th, 2021. I'm about to do another reaction video, so this one is going to be to your boy, Mr. Kitten Heels. So, this is from his live, I think it was yesterday evening, last night actually. It got kind of interesting. There were three females in particular that I want to kind of showcase, and luckily they were all back to back, so this should be kind of easy to do. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of point out how that Mr. Kitten Heels, you know, he's not really, well, it's not that he's not professional at all. He's an unprofessional. He's non-professional. He's unprofessional. You know, at asking the right questions, at asking the questions that actually bring out detail. He doesn't listen. You know, he talks. He asks questions and then talks over his guest. You know, they attempt to answer him. They don't answer him quick enough, so he fills in the information before they can. And this is not, you know, how you conduct a call-in show. This is not how you conduct an advice column. You know, and for this guy to claim that he's a high-value man and that he's out here, you know, picking young women left and right. He's nearly my age. You know, he's 52 years of age. Out here claiming that he's out here, you know, bagging females that are half his age. Well, one, that's disgusting. You know, so if he's out here bagging females that are young enough to be his daughter, then he's fucking disgusting. But his conversation level is indicative of somebody that deals with immature people. So he converses like an immature woman. He expresses himself like an immature woman. So it would stand to reason that he's keeping company with a lot of immature women. But he's not doing it because he's suave, because he's debonair, because he's, you know, a fashion nova, you know, because he's charismatic, because he's chivalrous. You know, nah, he's not doing it because he's savoir-faire. He's not, you know, meeting young women because of those things. He's meeting young women because he's paying for it. He's paying for escorts. He's paying for company. And he's paying for company from younger females, from very immature females, females who can't really hold discussions, females who can't really converse. So the type of discussions that he get into with these young females that are half his age, between 21 and 26, you know, is indicative of how he conducts himself on his call-in shows. The way he talks to his female audience, you know, no woman of substance, no woman of any kind of mental acumen would put up with a guy that talks the way he talks. No woman that feels like that she's got it going on. No woman that has multiple men at her will spend her time talking to a dude who talks the way he talks. That wouldn't be beneficial. Pussy makes money. And just about all pussy can make money. So unless he's paying a lot for it, ain't no chick hanging out with him because they think he's just so handsome and so smooth and so, you know, just got it going on, that nah, he's not that brother. I'm that brother, but he's not that brother. And if he thought he was that brother, he would hear me calling his name Kevin Samuels. He would hear me calling him Kitten Heels, and he would come talk to me. He would see me tagging his name, using his name in my vlogs to say, you know what, I'm gonna call this brother out. I'm gonna get at this Mr. Marion Man. I want to see what this Mr. Marion Man talking about. But he don't. And he don't because he knows what I'm saying is real. He knows what I'm saying is 100%, and he can't fuck with it. But I'm gonna showcase to y'all, you know, how he dealt with three of his, you know, last callers, and I'm gonna tell you how he should have dealt with them. Okay? And I'm gonna show you images at the same time. So let's go ahead and kick it off, y'all.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
What's your first name?
It's Louise. I don't have my name on my resume.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 24.
Alright, what do you have for me on top? Why are you black up the white women?
Well, my view changed actually since recently watching the channel, and I would say it's like an attitude and a peace of mind, I guess, just from the two difference of culture, like just the way like white Americans live versus black Americans, and like the way they speak to each other, like the level of respect for each other. I think that's the reason now.
Okay, what was your opinion before?
Before I thought like a beauty standard as well.
A Eurocentric beauty standard?
Yeah, but like listening more to like I guess the opinions that men would have, it would be more like a peace of mind behavior. I mean, maybe
Father married?
yeah, they are, but I wouldn't say happily. I am in my bed, yeah.
Do you want to get married one day?
One day, yeah. Probably not for a while.
Now I'm gonna tell you guys something I've noticed. So you guys see the female that he's talking to right now. She's 24 years of age, and she's clearly biracial. Um, what I'm noticing is that Kevin is extremely colored. He's color struck. I won't necessarily call him a colorist, but he's definitely color struck. He's color struck big time, and he has, and he's a victim of the color complex. He has a color complex, so he's color struck, and he suffers from the color complex. Now, can I say that he's actually colorist? No, I can't necessarily say that. He likes to use Kelly Rowland as his go-to pretty girl, you know, and I think he does that to make himself sound less colorist, to make himself sound less color struck, and less, uh, affected by the color complex. So he likes to say that Kelly Rowland, that he considers her 9. To be honest, from the way that I see him react to females on his call-in shows, the ones that are visible, the way I see him treat the biracial ones and the light-skinned ones, it's clear that he doesn't think that Kelly Rowland is the pretty one. It's clear that he doesn't think that Kelly Rowland is the dynamic one in the group. Kelly Rowland is my favorite one. When Destiny Child first came on the scene, Kelly Rowland was all I could look at. I was like, who the fuck is that dark-skinned, chocolate, sexy motherfucker right there? She all I could look at. I could never look at Beyonce and either of the other two girls. Kelly Rowland was always where my eyes went, and my eyes still go to Kelly Rowland. But I'm just pointing out that that Kevin Samuels is completely color struck, and he suffers from the color complex.
You have children?
Yeah, maybe one.
When you say a while, what do you mean?
Like 28, 29. So like that's a while, a couple of years.
So I gotta ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think you're gonna gain in the open dating market in the next 4 or 5 years by dating other men that's going to be valuable to a husband?
Now, I mean, he tried to ask this question, and he was at least going in the right direction. But this 24-year-old girl said that she would like to get married one day. And she said maybe around the ages of 28, 29. Remember yesterday I told you guys that most brothers get married between the ages of 23 and 28. Every brother that you, and I want you guys to put this to a test. I want you guys to go out and every time you meet a black man that's married, I want you to ask him what age was he the first time he got married. Every black man that you know that's married or that's ever been married, I want you to ask him what age was he when he first got married. Okay? The first time he ever got married, ask him what age was he. And that's your research right there. That's your you don't need to go to statistics. Let that be your research. And put that in your videos. Put that in your videos, and say, what your own personal research has found. All the black men that you meeting out in public, that you see when walking with females, that you see that are married, that you know that are married, ask them, hey, my man, hey, can I ask you something? At what age did you first get married? The first time you ever got married, what age were you? And see what they tell you. And I bet you between the ages of 23 and 28. Some will have been between the ages of 20 and 25. A small handful will be between the ages of 20 and 25. But anyways, this young girl says that she wants to get married, maybe 28, 29, right? And she's 24 now. So what he should have said to her was, hey, you're at your peak right now. You're at your peak right now for a high value man. High value men that are looking at you right now at 24, what do you think you will have achieved by 29 that a high value man would choose you at 29 when you have more bodies, when you have caught more bodies and more negative DNA? When more men will have run through you. In fact, he should have just said, hey, 29, do you plan on being celibate? Well, first he should say, are you a virgin? Which will probably be met with, no, she's not a virgin. Then he could have said, well, how many bodies have you had? How many guys have you been with? Probably 2 or 3. By looking at her, she said her parents are still together. She biracial. I'm assuming her dad is black, mother is white. Yeah. So she has a certain amount of decorum. She was raised with a certain amount of values that she's not out here just throwing herself around. So at 24, she might have had 2, 3 guys already. But that's 2, 3 guys that's already just damaged. That's damaged because that's 2, 3 guys who ran through her who she hasn't been married to. So she has experience with 3 failures. She has experience with 3 failures already by 24. So how many more failures would she like to achieve or attain by the age of 28 when she'll be ready to be married? How many more bodies would she like to catch? Why does she think she'll be more appealing with more damage done to her? With more damage done to her. That's what he should have asked.
At age 29.
So are you asking like what the value is of me at age 29?
I'm asking you what the value of dating. It's like dating, because when I hear women say they want to be married later on.
Yeah.
Okay. Why later on? What do you think?
So I notice everybody's saying this on their videos, fair use, okay? This is fair use. I'm only using a clip, I'm not using the entire show. So, and I'm not making money off of this, so I'm not monetized, so I'm just making a point, all right? So, fair use, okay? So, I should have said it at the beginning. I should have put up the fair use disclaimer, and I'll start doing that again. I'll start putting up the fair use disclaimer again. So, but fair use.
Oh, well, just because I know myself and.
Ooh.
And the reason I ask is because so many of our women have children outside of wedlock and then want to marry later on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nope, damn it.
Was your mother
Sorry about that,
married
y'all.
to your father?
She was not.
Okay. Well, hold on just a second. I'm going to go ahead and get a few more people on here. You can stay here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, y'all. Here we go.
I am in my bed, yeah.
Do you want to get married one day?
Uh.
From a woman's standpoint. You're hearing what you're hearing through women tend to filter their logic through their emotions. That's the first. Second,
Damn it.
any man you get with, you're going to be customized for that man anyway.
Okay.
And I am more concerned with all the damage that you could possibly incur over the next 5 years with dead-end relationships, casual sex partners, hookups, these kind of things, versus saying I want to be married, have kids, and focus on it in your younger years. Our community, our women tend to think they want to get married when they should be ending having kids. ramping down having children by the age you're talking about. You should be ramping down having children by the age you're talking about. Nature says so. Your body goes into geriatric pregnancy at 35. You are not capable of doing those things. So you need to, because men see that kind of stuff and they automatically put you in the category of it. So we got to worry about our image and how we project. So thank you. Have a good night.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So yeah, I get, not everybody. What is this? Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
What's your first name?
It's Louise. I don't have my name on my Zoom.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 24.
All right. What do you have for your topic? Why are black women and high value black men? White women.
Well, my view changed actually since recently watching the channel, and I would say it's like an attitude and a peace of mind, I guess, just from the two difference of culture, like just the way like white Americans live versus black Americans, and like the way they speak to each other, like the level of respect for each other. I think that's the reason now.
Okay. What was your opinion before?
Before I thought like a beauty standard as well.
A Eurocentric beauty standard?
Yeah, but like listening more to like I guess the opinions that men would have, it would be more like a peace of mind behavior.
Your
Maybe
father married?
yeah, they are, but I wouldn't say happily.
Okay. Are you laying down?
I am in my bed, yeah.
Do you want to get married one day?
Now, guys, you guys notice that he asked her if she's laying down, and she said yes. I'm laying in my bed. Now, had she been dark skinned or heavy set, he'd have made a deal about it. But because she's biracial, she's somewhat attractive. That you guys just saw it for yourself. Because she's biracial, somewhat attractive, that oh my goodness, ice cream man. Come on, ice cream man. It's a Nigerian cat, that passes by twice a day. He must be doing pretty good because he's been doing it for a couple of years. So, unless he has another business, if he lives in this neighborhood, he's doing pretty good. So it's a middle class neighborhood. So he must be doing okay. But anyway, so as I was saying, yeah. So this is how you know that he's color struck. Had she been any other female, dark skinned or somewhat plump, that this would have been an issue for him, her laying down, okay?
One day, yeah. Hoping up for a while.
You want children?
Yeah, maybe one.
When you say a while, what do you mean?
Like 28, 29. So like that's a while, a couple of years.
So I gotta ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think you're gonna gain on the open dating market in the next 4 or 5 years by dating other men that's going to be valuable to a husband at age 29?
So are you asking like what the value is of me at age 29?
I'm asking you what's the value of dating. Just like dating, because when I hear women say they want to be, married later on.
Yeah.
Okay. Why later on? What do you think you're going to gain?
Oh, well, just because I know myself, and there's a lot of things that I wasn't taught, like about relationships, like that I'm even learning just now recently, like this past few days from your channel. So I feel like with time, that would take a while for me to get to a point like that.
Well, I would tell you that no. You need direction, and you need direction from a man. Because honestly, you can glean what you glean, but you're still coming at it from Just like I would come at it from a man's standpoint, you're coming at it from a woman's standpoint. You're hearing what you're hearing through women tend to filter their logic through their emotions. That's first. Second, any man you get with, you're going to be customized for that man anyway. And I am more concerned with all the damage that you could possibly incur over the next 5 years with dead-end relationships, casual sex partners, hookups, these kind of things, versus saying I want to be married, have kids, and focus on it in your younger years. Our community, our women tend to think they want to get married when they should be ending having kids. You should be ramping down having children by the age you're talking about. You should be ramping down having children by the age you're talking about. Nature says so. Your body goes into geriatric pregnancy at 35. You are not capable of doing those things, so you need to push earlier marriage. Not early, but earlier marriage. And dispel this notion. That's just damage. My personal opinion. And it's the one that's shared by many men. So have a good night. I'm going to get to Vivian. Vivian, you're up next.
So like I said, so he should have just asked her if she's a virgin. And based on the answer that he would have gotten, he should have asked her, do you plan on being celibate until you get married? Do you plan on, saving yourself for marriage, because if not, then all you're going to do is rack up bodies, and how do you, see yourself as being of value to men when you'll be, in fact, devaluing yourself? The more men you get with, the more value you lose. The more men run through your body, the more value you lose. So why would you wait till 29 when you're at your peak for marriage right now? When you're at your highest you'll ever be. At 24, the men want you right now. If you think those men want to wait around until you're 29 and used up, then had a couple kids, and had a couple, probably been got herpes, they had gonorrhea a couple of times, they had the clap a couple of times. Black women, sadly, that's the life for a lot of black women. Herpes, gonorrhea, the clap, chlamydia, syphilis. Black women tend to get those diseases, so you want to run your numbers up for the chances of getting those diseases rather than marrying right now when your slate is clean. Doesn't make sense. Not sure what's going on with his sound.
Okay. You mute yourself? Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can.
I'm here.
How old are you?
I am 41.
41. What do you got for me on the topic? Why do black women keep losing their value?
I just started listening to your show. I think it has something to do with their upbringing, to be honest.
Okay.
Because since I was young in high school, I went to a predominantly white school in Rockford, and all the black young men at that time were dating white women, Hispanic women only, and it was very hard for black women, even at that very young age, to be able to date a black man. Their preference was a white woman or a Hispanic woman versus.
How old are you again? 41. So we're roughly
41?
We're 11 years apart. What state were you born in?
I was born in the state of Pennsylvania. Yeah.
So, due respect, man, I don't buy that. We're separated by 11 years, and not in Generation X did you see most black men dating non-black women.
That's
You're
right.
millennial or zennial? Yeah, not 41.
Where I live, yes.
Where was
But
that?
the surrounding cities,
Where was
I live in like the Lehigh Valley, which is
Okay.
mostly Hispanic and white, but the surrounding cities like Philadelphia and Texas, they do date black women. But speaking from my experience growing up,
So now this woman here, she's gonna do a lot of lying. She's gonna do a lot of lying, and he doesn't ask questions about the lying that she does. I mean, she's about to do a shitload of lying. Um, she said she grew up in a predominantly white area, went to predominantly white schools. So that means her parents took her, a black girl, to a predominantly white area and put her at a disadvantage. Why would her mother and father, or her mother or her father, individually, why would whoever her parents are, or whoever her parent was, why would her parent or parents take and put her at a disadvantage? So, black women out here, you guys, when you're out here thinking you're elevating and thinking, you're moving on up, you seriously need to think about the disadvantage you're putting your children at. Why would you take your daughters, knowing the self-esteem issues that black girls face, why would you take your daughter to a predominantly white school where all of the kids are mostly white? The few black boys there that are going to be there are athletes, and you know how white girls like black athletes. Why would you take, unless your daughter is an athlete, unless your daughter is extremely beautiful, extremely athletic, that well, wherever you go, she's going to get the same attention because she's got that same prowess. Unless you know that you're putting your daughter at an advantage, why do black people not consider what they're doing to their children? My children are biracial. So I knew when I came back to the States, I knew I'm going to put my children in a climate that's, that they're accustomed to. I'm not going to put my children in the fucking projects or the hood. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put my children where kids will fucking fixate on what because my kids got pretty privilege. My boys damn near got as much pretty privilege as my daughter. My boys damn near got as much pretty privilege as my daughter has. So why the fuck would I put my boys in the middle of gang-infested territory where boys are jealous of other boys, where dad, when I'm the new nigga in the hood, niggas are jealous of me and how the females, how I'm the new kid on the block, I'm the new man in the neighborhood, how women look at me and want a taste of me. Why the fuck would I put my pretty ass boys, my good looking ass sons, who exotic from other parts of the world, why the fuck would I put them in the midst of some shit where motherfuckers gonna be jealous of them? Why would I do that to my children? I'm gonna put my kids around other kids like them. I'm gonna deliberately seek out. I'm gonna scout out schools. I'm gonna look at the population of the schools. I'm gonna look at the body of the schools. I'm gonna look for the kids who look like my kids, who got a background like my kids. So my kids don't go through that kind of bullshit. Parents, man, y'all out here doing some fucked up shit. Y'all not thinking about your kids. It's all about you. It's all about what y'all want and where you want to go in life and where you want to be. That you don't think shit about your children and what you're doing to your children. This woman is about to tell a shitload of lies. So she already said that she grew up in a predominantly white area. And she's claiming that this predominantly white area, all of the black boys that was in that area only dated white girls. So this means they were athletes. This means they were athletes. They were extremely scholastic. So in drama club, in band, in music, in theater, they were doing all the shit that white kids are normally doing, playing sports. So yeah, they weren't thugs because white girls don't fuck with thugs. White girls in white neighborhoods don't fuck with black gang members. So they weren't. So they weren't thugs. These were the good black boys. If they're dating white girls.
very hard for me. Like, in order for me to date a black man, I would have to date somebody from New York City or Philadelphia. And
you have any children?
I do have 4 sons.
How many times you been
No,
married?
I never been married.
Why not?
I honestly believe that I was never married because I made poor choices in men.
How many different fathers?
I have 3 different fathers.
How old is your youngest?
He's 11.
How old is your oldest?
He's 23.
Are all the fathers are black men?
3 of them are black. I mean, two of them are black, and one is white. The last one is white.
What are you doing up
Damn.
I really believe that picking the wrong men. And until I recently started watching your show, I really
So, she said she grew up in predominantly white areas. She said that all the black boys were dating white girls. But she's got 3 baby daddies. She's got 4 kids and 3 baby daddies. What Kendrick Lamar said, is that you and them big old thighs after school? 3 kids, 3 baby daddies, and a car note that's overdue? Is that you and them big old thighs after school? 3 kids, 3 baby daddies, and a car note that's overdue? She got 3 baby daddies, 4 sons, 3 baby daddies. 4 sons. Two of the baby daddies are black. The third one is white. So a white dude came along and got with a black chick that either got 2 black kids already or 3 black kids by 2 other black men and decided to have either 1 black kid, either 1 mixed kid or 2 mixed kids. Because she don't say, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so you got 4 kids by 3 men. So one of the dudes you had 2 kids with. So which one did you have 2 kids with? The first dude, the second dude, or the third dude? He doesn't ask that. That's something he should have asked. Instead of saying, what are you doing? He should have said, you got 4 kids by 3 men. So which one of those dudes did you have, 2 kids with? So you clearly don't have a problem getting men. You got 2 black dudes and a white dude. But you said you went to a predominantly white school and all of the black boys were going out with white girls. But you got 2 or 3 babies by black dudes, by 2 black dudes.
realize the difference in quality of men, and I've been doing a lot of self-reflecting and trying to figure out why. Because I get hit on a lot by different men, different quality men, every race you can think of.
Damn, she just said she gets hit on a lot. So hold up, see how I said she lies a lot? She said that she grew up in a predominantly white area, went to predominantly white schools where all of the black boys were dating white girls, that she had a hard time because but she just contradicted herself and said she gets hit on a lot by all different types of men, all quality of men, all races of men. She said all different types of men, all quality of men. She gets hit on a lot by a lot of men. So, and she's already got 4 sons by 3 different dudes. 2 of the dudes are black. The last dude is a white dude.
Okay, but one thing that doesn't change, right or wrong, man, it's called a husband. If you had a husband first, and your womb was closed until you had a husband, then there's no wrong man. There's just sex part.
Right. And that goes back to your topic as far as why why are white women getting black men? I personally feel like it has something.
You're saying that when you grew up, it was harder for you to date black men because of the part of country you lived in.
Yeah, they preferred.
But you messed around and got 4 sons from black men, so you found some somewhere, but no husband. And I'm like,
this is the thing.
huh?
This is the thing, and to answer your question, I think it has a lot to do with the upbringing and some of the things that black women go through at a very young age. Now, I'm not making up any excuses. I'm only speaking from personal experience.
Okay.
The first black man that I encountered was 10 years older than me. I was young, kind of came from a broken family, didn't really know no better, was trying to find my way.
Okay, so she was young and she came from a broken family. So broken black families don't tend to live in predominantly white areas. Broken black families don't tend to live in predominantly white areas. So either she's lying about, or she was raised in a foster home. And she was raised by white folk. Broken black families don't tend to live in white neighborhoods, in predominantly white neighborhoods. Black men and black women who can raise themselves up out of black neighborhoods and go live in white neighborhoods, who got jobs and careers that take them out of black neighborhoods, unless she was in a trailer park. Unless they just left the hood and went to a trailer park. That's possible, but that's like extremely rare. That's extremely rare. Why the hell would a black woman or black man, why would black parents want to take their black child out of a black neighborhood and go live in white trash trailer parks? This kind of shit he's not asking. This kind of shit he's not, I'd be drilling the shit out of her. Because this kind of shit she's saying, all this shit is lies. It's just not adding up. She said she had here, let her finish telling it.
Don't you date a man 10 years older than you?
My mom wasn't really present. She wasn't present.
So, she just said her mom wasn't really present. Well, who was present? So, she dated a man that was 10 years older than her when she was young. She said she came from a broken family. So her mom wasn't really present. So who was present? Who raised her? What parent? Who put her into school? She didn't put herself into school. So who took her to school and who enrolled her in high school, in middle school, in high school? She didn't do it herself. So who was the guardian? Who was the parent in her life? So she's saying her mom wasn't really there. So was it the dad? The dad was there. So a black man took her and did this to her. A black man put her at a disadvantage around white folk in trailer parks. Is that what she's here to say? But he doesn't ask. Kevin, that's what I'm telling y'all. Mr. Kitten Hills, Kevin Samuels is not a professional at this. He's non-professional. He's unprofessional. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. And at some point, y'all need to start calling him out. This cat has no credentials at all. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Your mom. Your mom.
My mom.
How old were you?
She was not. How old was I?
Yeah.
I was about 16.
So you dated a 26-year-old?
17, I had my first child.
Oh, you was dating a 26-year-old man?
Yeah. My mom was
Man, that's statutory rape.
around. I was kind of on my own.
But ma'am, that's statutory rape.
Yeah.
So how was she kind of on her own at 16? So she said at 16 years of age, she was dating a man that was 26 years of age. So she said her mom wasn't really around. So who was raising her? Who was responsible for her? What adult was allowing this girl at 16 to walk around with a 26-year-old man? What family member was allowing this girl to get into vehicles and to drive off with a 26-year-old man that was sexually attracted to this child? A black man. Who? What neighborhood? And she said she grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood. So what black man at 26 was coming around a predominantly white neighborhood? She said High Valley. She said she grew up in High Valley. That's predominantly white area. She went to the schools there. So what black man was coming around High Valley, a predominantly white area, picking up a 16-year-old girl? Who was her family member allowing that shit? Who was allowing a 26-year-old black man to ride into a white neighborhood to pick up a 16-year-old black girl and to ride off with her?
Right, yeah, it was.
But you had, I been 16, you knew not to be dating a 26-year-old man.
Eventually, I found out.
I can hear, man, here's the thing. You weren't born on it. You were born in the same country I was born. You were born in the same country I was. You had ABC, NBC, CBS, just like I did. No. You were just fast. Fast out here doing what the hell you
wasn't
want
fast.
to.
I didn't really have any direction.
Okay, whatever it's called, ma'am, you were 16 with a 26-year-old. You knew that was not right. But you did it anyway.
I learned that it was not right.
Ma'am,
Because
you knew that was not right. Oh, no, don't overtalk, no. You cannot tell me that this man could come up to high school.
A 26-year-old lied about his age. A 26-year-old said what, he was 18?
He couldn't come to pick you up.
A 26-year-old was going around saying he was 18?
You could have walked around in public with a 26-year-old saying this is my boyfriend at 16. They'd have locked his ass up.
They'll lock his ass up today. They will still lock his ass up. If she say his name right now, they will go lock his ass up.
I'm saying that you knew you shouldn't be dealing with a 26-year-old. You knew that. Then stop talking about how I was raised and this and that. Yeah, you may have been raised jacked up. So what? 16. And you were... People, look, man, I hear people say this all the time. Your mom was only supposed to raise you till 18, so that's only 2 more years. You can drive a car, meaning you can commit murder. You knew better than dating a 26-year-old. You knew better than laying down and making babies.
Oh my goodness, no. She said she was on her own at 13. How in the hell was this woman on her own? Now, I left home at 15. I left home at 15, but I went off to a college preparatory school. I went off and went to a private school up in the Ozark Mountains, up in Arkansas. I left home and went to Arkansas, went up to the Ozark Mountains, went to a private school, to a college. It was like a college. It was a high school that was like a college. Classes were just like going, I lived in a dormitory. And I had to work. So I worked in a factory, in a wood factory, in a cabinet factory, in a kitchen, in bathrooms, cabinet factory. When I was 15, 16, 17. I worked my way through high school. I left home at 15 years of age. Worked my way through school. Been on my own ever since. This girl saying that she left at home at 13. Where the hell did she go at 13 years of age? Who let her leave home at 13 years of age? So that means she doesn't have an education. That means chances are she doesn't have a high school education. Chances are she didn't finish high school. Chances are she doesn't even have a GED. I bet money she doesn't even have a GED.
I don't care if you was on your own since you were 11.
She's lying.
You still know the difference between an adult and a kid.
She was not on her own at no 13.
Why am I saying this, man? Because I'm still saying, yes, you may have had a rough upbringing. What's the name of your therapist?
I don't have a therapist at the moment.
Have you ever had a licensed clinician?
Yes.
When?
Yes, I have. I want to say the last time was probably about.
Okay, y'all. What I'm gonna do is, because this is kind of serious, there's gonna be a part 2 to this. So my next few videos over this weekend are gonna be all 2-part videos. They're all gonna be 1 and 2 parts, because these are some serious issues that need to be addressed.
Pump your brakes. Pump your brakes, pump your brakes, pump your brakes. You're still 40 when you got 4 kids.
So let's everybody go ahead and take your break, go to the bathroom, get your drink, pour yourself a drink, because you might need a drink for this, all right? You may need a drink to get through this. So go use the bathroom, get you some water, get your drink some Kool-Aid or something, some lemonade, get some tea, come back and sit down, and let's get through part 2 of this, okay? So I'll be back.